So today we will be discussing Pythagoras theorem. Let's start on this. I will be discussing three types of triangles in this exercise. One where C is unknown. Another one where A is unknown. And another one where B is unknown. So let's start with the first one, which is the first triangle here. Now remember, Pythagoras theorem can only be used in a right angle triangle. So right angle is denoted by this, which is 90 degrees. Now, and the formula for Pythagoras theorem is c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared. C is always the longest side, which is known as hypotenuse, which is opposite the right angle triangle. And then after that, A can be here and B can be here, or vice versa. It doesn't matter where you put A and B right now. So let's start with a simple example. I've got a right angle triangle, right? Now, let's say I don't know what C is, but I know what A is. And let's say I say A is 3 centimeters and B is 4 centimeters. So using the Pythagoras theorem formula, c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared. C, which is we don't know yet, a. Substitute a with the number. In this case, it's 3. So 3 will go here. 3 is squared. The 2 comes there. Plus b, which is 4. And then the 2 goes here, 2. So c squared is equal to 3 squared, which is 3 times 3, plus, which is this plus, 4 squared, 4 times 4. So c squared is equal to 3 times 3, which is 9, plus 4 times 4, which is 16. C squared is equal to 16 plus 9 is 25. C squared is equal to square root of 25. I should say C is equal to square root of 25, and C is equal to 5. Okay, so that's that one as an example. So C in this case will be 5 centimeters. Okay, which is here. Now another example from here, which is this one. So let's say we have, call it example B. Similar right angle triangle. Remember, Pythagoras only works in right angle triangle. This time you know what C is as an example. So C is 5 centimeters. A, let's say you don't know. And B is 4 centimeters. So, and the question is, find what is A. So use your formula, c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared. And c squared in this case is 5 squared. That's this 5 over here. A, which you don't know, so we'll call it question mark or x squared, plus b, which is 4. So 5 squared, which is 25, is equal to x squared plus 4 squared, which is 16. Now this is a normal algebraic equation, so get 16 over here. So you do minus 16, so 25 minus 16 is equal to x squared. 25 minus 16 is 9. 9 is equal to x squared. So square root of 9 is equal to x. 3 is equal to x. So in this case, 3 centimeters. Okay. Now the third triangle, is what we had before, which is this one. In this case, you don't know what B is. So similarly, draw your right angle triangle. Pythagoras only works in right angle triangle. This time you know what C is. So let's say 5 centimeters. You know what A is, let's say 3 centimeters. But you don't know what B is. Like, always start with your formula. C squared is equal to A squared plus B squared. You know what C is, which is 5 centimeters. 5 squared is equal to A. You know what A is, which is 3 squared plus B. B, you don't know what it is. Let's put X there this time. So 5 squared, which is 25, is equal to 3 squared, which is 9, plus X squared. Now, 20, they do minus 9, 25 minus 9 is equal to x squared. 25 minus 9 is 16, is equal to x squared. X is equal to square root of 16, then 4 is equal to x. So that's your B, right? So this is 4 centimeters. So there you go. So that's the 3 examples that we talked about, that we had covered over here. Now I will take you through the example of a basic example of how types of questions you'll get. So examples. For instance, some of the questions you might get is, find the length of cable supporting a flagpole. Let's say a flagpole would be like this, and a flagpole is, let's say, 4 meters high, and they support on the ground from where the flagpole is 3 meters. And they might say, find the distance of this cable. How much is it? So if you look at it, this is exactly like Pythagoras theorem, a triangle. So that's when you draw your triangle, and then you'd say, okay, let's use Pythagoras theorem. C squared is equal to A squared plus B squared. The cable C squared is equal to, let's call this A, let's call this B. A, which is 3 squared, plus B, which is 4 squared. C squared is equal to 9 plus 16, right? Which is similar example to what we had in the first one. If you go here, C squared is equal to 3 squared plus 4 squared. So c squared is equal to 25. C is equal to 5 meters. So you'll say the cable length is 5 meters. You can get other examples. They might say, let's say this is example 2A, 2B. These are all wordy questions, and it's a matter of deciphering that word into the actual maths. So I might say, let's say a kite is 4 meters high and is 3 meters distance from you. What is the length of the string? Okay, so if you look at this, the things to pick up on is, let's say the kite is 4 meters high and 3 meters distance from you. What is the length of the string? So if you think about it, this is where you are. There's always a position where it needs to be referencing from you. It's 4 meters high. So I will draw something 4 meters high and 3 meters, so 4 meters high and 3 meters distance from you. So I'm here, so this is you. It's 3 meters distance from you, right? What is the length of the string? So if this is a kite here, right, and it's flying up in the air, 3 meter distance from you is where it's asking, sorry, what is the length of the string? So if it's 3 meters distance from you, which is this, so it's saying what is the length of the string, which is this part. So C is equal to unknown. And so it's given you the 4 meters high, so it's given you B. It's giving you 3 meters distance from you, which is A. Now you can put A instead of the 4 meters. You can put B in the 3 meter, it doesn't matter. Because in our formula, C is equal to A squared plus B squared. It doesn't matter if it's C is equal to B squared plus A squared. It's the same thing. But the important part is you stick to it. So in this case, C is unknown. A is 3 meters. So 3 squared plus B is 4 meters. 4 squared. So C squared is equal to 9 plus 16. C squared is equal to square root of 25. C is equal to 5 meters. So the string that is flying the kite is 5 meters. Okay. So that's the example that we worked on. Now you'll get other questions that are wordy. Like I said, I gave you 2 examples. Flagpole. What is the length of the cable of the flagpole? What is the length of the string? But essentially all of them is drawing a right angle triangle. And then you have to work out whether it's asking you for A or B or C. Now, the last thing I did want to talk to you about is surds. So surds are pretty much this, right? So if I say, for instance, square root of 3, that is a surd because it cannot be factorized, it cannot be broken down anymore. If I give you square root of 25, you know what that is? That is 5, because 5 times 5 is 25. So square root of 25 is 5. And I did that. Let's say I'll give you an example of how I did that. Let's say I do square root of 36, which is same thing as square root of 6 times 6, which is, so this square root takes this 6. But if I say square root of 5, that cannot be broken down anymore. So that is a surd. If I say square root of 7, that cannot be broken down anymore. So that is the surd form. So if you get any questions and they say, give the answer in a surd form. So let's say, give the answer in a surd form. And I'll say square root of 50. So that is same thing as saying square root of 25 times 2, right? 25 times 2 is 50, which is same thing as saying square root of 25 times square root of 2. Now you know what square root of 25 is, which is 5, because 5 times 5 is 25. And this is 5 times square root of 2. So 5 root 2. Another example, I might say square root of 12. That is same thing as saying square root of 4 times 3. 4 times 3 is 12, which is square root of 4 times square root of 3. Square root of 4 is 2 times square root of 3. 2 root 3. This is in a surd form. Surd, see this part over here. So the answer is 2 root 3. In this case, this is a surd form, 5 root 2. If it's not in a surd form, that means I need to work out use a calculator to work out square root of 3, times it by 2, then the answer would be in a decimal format. But in this case, we're leaving the answer in a surd format, which is 2 root 3. Thank you very much for your time. If there's any further questions you'd want to ask, just feel free to ask in the chat below. And if you have any questions, I'll answer it. And this was the basics of Pythagoras theorem. There's more questions I can go through if you'd like. Yeah, feel free to ask those questions.